Pixar's back! Oh my god, Pixar's back! Jeez, it's felt like an eternity, hasn't it? Because they've been in this slump of just bad to mediocre movies, and it's just, oh, Inside Out came out, and it's just so nice to see that they haven't lost their touch at all. Seriously, over the past couple of years, they've been in such a horrible slump. I mean, they produced an unnecessary sequel, an unnecessary prequel, and then a movie that sadly suffered through production, but was at least okay. But it's great to see that they're back doing what they do best. Making people cry. So, I heard that a lot of people hated the trailers for Inside Out. I wasn't bothered by them at all. I think maybe people didn't like the music they used because they had like Boston's More Than a Feeling, and then Sweet Emotion by Aerosmith, and then that You're Hot Then You're Cold, You're Yes Then You... I don't know that song very well. I don't follow modern pop music, so I can't tell you who sung that. Should have used Inside Out by Eve 6. I mean, it's titled Inside Out. Also, I'm pretty sure Eve 6 could use the money. But yeah, the trailers didn't bother me at all. I think maybe I was too interested in the concept and the visuals that nothing else really bothered me. At the very least, I can say the trailers didn't lie to me like most Disney movies do. So let's talk about the cast of this movie and how almost perfect it was. You had Amy Poehler as Joy, who was just constantly on. Just there's so much energy to put into her performance. There was Bill Hader as Fear. I love Bill. I think Bill Hader's hilarious. You had Phyllis Smith as Sadness. She was perfect. A lot of great acting in that one. One emotion I surprisingly liked a lot was Disgust, played by Mindy Sterling. And she wasn't really just about, you know, don't touch that, that's icky. She was more about, you know, keeping Riley, the girl, clean, you know, making sure she looks good. She was all about girly things, makeup and stuff. And the reason why I like that so much is because it shows that these characters, these personified emotions, are not flat at all. They don't just embody the emotion. They're more in charge of that emotion because they can feel other emotions themselves. You know, Joy felt sadness at one point. Whenever Riley was happy, they were all happy. I think that was a very good decision because it showed, again, that they had more depth to them than just what their emotion was. And it showed that they were more about working together rather than competing with each other. But let's talk about the best casting choice in this movie, and probably any movie ever. Lewis Black as Anger. Just yes. This is just whoever made this decision. Just you deserve a raise because this is perfect. Lewis Black is actually one of my favorite comedians, and if you're not familiar with his work, go look it up. I mean, his whole shtick is that he's the angry guy. He's the angry comedian. Everything pisses him off. You know, the places he's traveled through, it's too cold, it's too hot. You know, politics, and it's like, oh, Republicans and Democrats, and yes, this is what sold me on the movie in the first place. And I think maybe that's another reason why I didn't hate the trailer, because I heard Lewis Black talking as Anger, and I was like, I'm seeing this. There's no way I'm not going to see this. The best part about it is that he didn't just nail the character, well, obviously he was going to, but they also animated a lot of his mannerisms. Like, he does this thing where he's got the pointed finger, and then he gets his teeth out, and he's got this squinty eye, and he's like, soy milk is not really milk, it's soy juice. That's a line from one of his stand-ups. Just look it up. Just trust me, look up Lewis Black if you've never seen him. I thought the girl Riley was really great too, because the whole point of the movie was that she was upset over moving from Minnesota to San Francisco, and moving is a very tough thing for a kid. It's very hard to go through because you're leaving your hometown and you got to restart in a new town, including myself. I've been through that too. What, you think I live in Florida by choice? No. This movie is gorgeous. There's so much detail and so many colors, and each color used perfectly to correspond with an emotion. This movie does not look like any other Pixar movie that's come out. In fact, it doesn't look like many other movies I've seen. In fact, when they were developing it, they said that it was very difficult because they basically had to create a completely new concept. I also like the way the characters look, the way their colors and shapes correspond to their specific emotion. I like the way they look because they look like they're fuzzy, but they're not actually fuzzy. They're actually sort of amalgamated blobs of energy, and if you look really close, you can see sort of like smoke and little particles coming off of them, and just wow, I don't even know what else to say about it. It just looks amazing. This is a very smart movie too, the way they emulate how things work in your mind. And this is a Pixar movie, so that's to be expected because Pixar does some mad research for their movies. If you're working on one of their films, you better believe you're gonna learn more about that subject than you've ever wanted to know. Normally I would go into a little bit more detail on production and everything in this movie, but Frederator recently put out a 107 facts video for Inside Out, and they pretty much go into every bit about how this movie was developed, how it was produced, you know, all the concepts. I'll leave a link to that in the description if you want to check it out. It's very informative. They pretty much go into everything. I just wish they didn't give away so many Easter eggs. Thanks, guys. This is also one of those movies that is so well put together that kids are gonna love it, but they're not truly gonna appreciate it until they're an adult. Because that's what makes a really good family movie. You know, the kids are gonna, you know, love the characters and love the colors, and then adults are gonna see, you know, all the humor and all the detail and all the great stuff that they put in it. There's so much great humor too, because there's a really funny joke. I'm not going to give it away, but there's a funny bit that they do with facts and opinions, and if you've seen the movie, you probably know what it was. Like I laughed so hard when that happened. And I think it goes without saying that being Pixar and all, and being a movie about emotions, this movie's going to make you cry. Well, not everybody. I mean, not someone like me. No, but seriously, there are some very heavy moments in this movie, and there's one scene in particular that taught me that there are far worse fates for a character than dying. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen the movie and you plan to, you will know when that scene shows up. Just be ready. I'll be honest, I can't really think of too many bad things to say about this movie. The only thing is, I've been hearing a lot of people call this movie original, and it's not original. It's not. This kind of thing has been done before. In fact, Disney had an attraction at Epcot Center. I haven't been to Epcot Center in a while, so I don't even know if this is still there. It was called Cranium Command, and it was basically the same idea. This is this little guy at a control panel inside this kid's head. So, yeah, this movie is great and unique, but it's not original. I don't even like using the term original anymore. I try to call things different. This movie is different. It's great and it's different. I guess they could have also given Lewis Black some more one-liners. I mean, you have Lewis Black embodying anger itself. How do you not take every single advantage of that? That would be allowed in a kid's movie. Still, you could have used some more lines. I will say, too, that maybe this movie has ruined every Pixar movie ever. And let me explain what that means. Okay, so there's this theory that all Pixar movies happen in the same universe. There's a whole, like, timeline of events of things that happens, you know, inanimate objects come to life, animals gain human intelligence, you know, things like that. Look it up on your own time. But if that is true, and this is also part of that universe, then every single Pixar character has these emotions in their heads running them at all times. And not just humans either, animals too, because there's a sequence at the end of this movie where we go take a look into the head of various other people that we met in the movie, and then they also go into the head of a dog and the head of a cat, and they show that it's just kind of all the same. So basically what this means is that every character in every Pixar movie, you know, human or otherwise, has this happening in their head. If they are planning a sequel to this, and God, I hope they're not, because I think this works well on its own, they ought to explore what happens inside the heads of the emotions. The emotions of emotions. Whoa, that is trippy. So yeah, if you've not seen this movie yet, please go see it. Take your kids, take your parents, take your dogs and cats and everybody in there. Take everybody. I highly recommend it. So if you've seen Inside Out, let me know what you think of it in the comments. And here's a fun question. Which of the 5 emotions do you think is in control of your head? Judging by a lot of the comments I get, I think I can figure it out, but put it in the comments section anyway. My name is Rob, and have a wonderful day.